This is Joquena, and today, just in time for school, I'm going to show you how to make one of these fun little flower bows. It clips on. See that? You need seed beads, or just really tiny beads. You don't have to have them, but if you look here, I use them to go around the big rhinestone. Big old rhinestones, whatever color you want. I'm using just kind of a clear glass diamond one. Hair clips, you could have bigger ones if you want, but just plain unadorned hair clips, and a glue stick, and obviously pins and scrap fabric. Anyway, I'm going to make two at the same time just to show off how easy these are. If you go, I'll put a link in the description to Modern Homemakers, but the first thing you need to do is go print off the free pattern. I repeat, free pattern. Just go print it off. It's worth it. Anyway, and this is a project that uses scrap fabric, so you could have weird little cuts of fabric that are only that big and get a use for them. So very exciting. So I am going to do a pink one, which is way more fabric than I would even need, but I have to do a pink one for my 6-year-old, and my 8-year-old wants a blue one. So I'm going to lay them right on top of each other. And if you don't have a big cut of fabric, you could literally treat these different flowers onto separate layers. So that's cool. And we're going to try to fold this twice because we want to cut 2 of each of the flowers. I'm going to take this, because I need 2, I'm going to fold it in half. So I'm putting this through all 4 layers of fabric. And apparently my tablecloth as well. So I keep pulling it out. And what we're going to do with fabric scissors is real fast cut a big circle to get this away from everything else. We're going to do the same thing to all 3 of these pieces. Make sure you have it flat in the back so you get all the fabric. And you're going to cut all the way around following those curves. The petal curves. See? Now you could take a moment as you're going around and just do that snip, or you can do that at the end. Your call. There's sparklies everywhere! It's okay if you don't cut perfectly, and depending on the fabric you use, I'm sure this is going to ravel over time, and that's totally fine. It's still going to look adorable. You can go in and trim stuff if you want. So you can see that's a nice curve, all those little bubbles all the way around, and then you're just going to go in and you could try to make sure you line it up perfectly again, but you're going to snip these petals. And the reason I'm cutting 2 at once is once you cut one of these, your pattern's pretty much useless. So you just need to go reprint it. So that's why I'm getting 2 flowers out of the 1 pattern. So, but you don't have to cut 2 at once. But you do want to have 2 thicknesses for each of these petals. 2 thicknesses of the same fabric. Now let's say you just had a bunch a little bit of a bunch of different colors. Like if you wanted to do pink and blue and orange all in the same flower, it's your flower. So whatever fabric you have, if you think it would look cute together, take your creative liberty and do it. Okay, make sure you got all of them. I missed one right here. And do the same thing to the other two flower sizes. I got them all cut out. You can see they've all got their flappy wings. And we're gonna start with the big one. And for the sake of demonstration, I'll do the pink one. Because pink is fun. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna pull off my blue ones. Shake off all the pinks. Shake off all the blue. Make it pink, make it blue. Okay. So I'm gonna put the good side of my fabric, like I have all these sparkly stars, and this is the bad side. I'm gonna put both good sides up, and I'm gonna try to center it on each other again. It doesn't have to be like all the ridges lined up. If anything, it's probably better if they're not. But try to get it somewhat centered. And make sure you protect your work area every time you're using hot glue, because it's just a mean substance. And you don't have to have 2 hot glue guns. I just like to move fast. So I'm going to peel this halfway over, and I'm going to put glue nowhere near the actual cuts, just kind of in the middle here. And I'm going to push that down very gently because hot glue burns. And then I'm going to turn it and do the same thing on the other side. Don't worry if you've got ribbons of glue everywhere. That is just part of the package when you work with a hot glue gun. You're going to have those. So I'm going to peel the other half back, and you can see it's stuck. It won't go past that point because I did the other side. And we're just going to do a little bit more in there. And then same thing. Pat it carefully. I've got the next biggest one, and you can see these are all slightly different colors of pink. That's just the way the fabric was. The one in my hair, it was all the same fabric. It didn't have that. It looks good on a variety of fabrics. That's fun. So I'm peeling back just the layer I have. And I'm just going to do not all the way up to the cuts. Do a semicircle. And pat it down and turn it. And do the same thing on the other side. Match that up with the other one. Semicircle. Pulling off some stringies. And then I'm ready to do the last size. So lining it up in the center. Half. And half. See, this one's already fraying a little, so if that bothers you, every once in a while just cut the threads. Okay, that's all the layers. All our stringies off. The next thing we need is one of our big rhinestones. And be careful. Try not to get the glue on you, because I repeat, it burns. And we're going to put that in the center. Get the stringies off. Now, you could just be done there, but I'm going to have fun with it. And you got to be really fast for this step. So get your pearl or your tiny seed beads ready. And I'm going to put hot glue all the way around the rhinestone. And this dries really fast. So I got to pour and press. I'm pressing it down into that hot glue. And I've got more than we're going to need. So we're going to kind of do like you do with glitter. We're going to get rid of the excess in just a second, but just push all the way around. You only get one chance to get it to stick. Okay. And then we're going to get these off. And I'm going to pour them into this container so I can reuse them on another project. I'll get all the excess stuff off. But that's a way to get a bunch of tiny beads on there fast. So I'm just taking my finger and I'm getting rid of the loose ones now so they don't end up all over my house. And those ones are not loose. We might lose a couple when we're wearing them, but isn't that pretty? Just how we got all those extra beads on there. Got a string of glue on here. It's bothering me. There we go. Anyway, okay, next step. Oh, I got a couple more off. The next step is to flip this over, even though we just want to stare at it because it's so beautiful. And, oops, got beads everywhere. If you had these on a paper, you can just really quickly shake them back into your container. But I'm using the same container with my hot glue. Your next step is to take this clip, and we need a little scrap of fabric. Now, because I don't know what size your clips are, I didn't make this part of the pattern, but it's really simple, trust me. You're just going to take a wide enough strip of fabric, as wide as you can go and still fit through there. So I'm actually going to double it so it's extra strong, and I'm going to cut this into kind of a big rectangle. A doubled up rectangle. Let's see if that still fits. I think it's still a little too wide. I'm just going to trim it down. Let's try that. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So doubled up as wide as you can get it and still fit through, and overlapping about a finger's width on each side. And I'm going to pull it slightly more to one side than the other. And I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue across it right next to where it's going to touch here. And I'm going to stick it to the barrette clip so it doesn't move around. Careful once again, that's hot stuff. And then, because it's doubled up, I'm going to deal with that in a second, but I'm going to bring this over here. And I'm going to put glue all over the side, the clip itself, and then the side. This is stronger than just gluing it to the clip, just gluing the flower to the clip, because it's going to have this larger area of where it's attached to the clip. Okay, and then I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to put some glue just on both sides to close that fabric up, because we want that double strength for sure. And then the other side too. Remember, this is really hot. You can put your hand in a little bit of water if you want before you touch it to keep from burning yourself. Okay. Let me pick all the glue off our fingers because it's driving us crazy. So that is all there is to it. That is your hair clip. Now, if you want to take a moment, you can kind of add some more texture to your flower by kind of wrinkling it a little with your hands. You can go in and mess it up, but that's your thing. I'm gonna go make the blue one so you can see what that looks like, but it's the same exact steps. There you have it, the finished product. You already saw the black one, but this is the pink and the blue, and You could just make these so different, just depending on the different fabric you use and the gems and the beads, and you can make a bunch of different ones and have lots of variety.